Excuse my hair, y'all, but y'all, my skin about to be popping. Okay, no, seriously. All jokes aside. Welcome back to my channel. I am Jay Bradford. Sorry, I dropped it. I am Jay Bradford, or Justin Bradford, but my friends call me JB. And if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe, join the tribe, and turn on the post notification bell wherever it is on the screen. But if you are a returning user, welcome back for our little chit chat. So, as you can see by the title, today we're going to talk about the GLE Coupe. And by the time you have watched this video, I have sold the car. I've been meaning to give y'all this update for a second, but life has been busy, work, business, continuing to grow and trying to evolve and all the things, preparing to move or by now have moved. As you can see by the box, and our background looks different, and it'll look even more different soon because I'm going to change a few things. But Mercedes GLE AMG Coupe, it was kind of something I had been thinking about for a while. I love the GLE Coupe, but there were a few things that I did not like about it. Especially coming from my BMW X6, sorry. It wasn't a horrible car. I will say that it's a really good car. There was just a few boxes that the particular model I had did not have. And being a Mercedes fanboy at heart, I was like, this isn't doing it. I think a few of the brands lately have just not been checking a lot of the boxes, and that kind of bothers me. But I just decided to get rid of the car, sell it. I did sell it for a decent profit. I broke even, thank God. But usually these days I'm pretty good at that, at breaking even or selling a car and getting a little something back, or again, just completely breaking even. I think in the process of buying a new car while also selling your car, it's still gonna feel like a loss a tad bit, because depending on what state you're in, there's the new sales tax on a new car. Some states have a benefit of if you trade, but that's if you can get the dealership that you're interested in to come up to a reasonable amount. And sometimes you have to just kind of play your cards right and not be eager to sell and not reveal that you're desperate to sell. Because even if you're not desperate to sell, sometimes they think you are. They think you're desperate to sell, and their goal is to try to get you to buy or sell the car for less. And apparently here in Texas, you get the savings of sales tax when you trade in your car, and they will try to package that in with what you are getting for the trade value. But if you live in Texas and you're trading a car, you would save the trade amount or the taxes. You would save the taxes on any new car that you buy if you're doing a trade. So sometimes I don't think people realize that. So let's just say, I'll give y'all the breakdown. One dealership offered me $60,000 for my car, but I had already been offered more by other dealers. And so we were trying to work on some numbers and get them to come up. And they were trying to, in colloquial terms, lowball me. So cheat me or beat me out of the true value of my car by packaging in oh, if you trade in the car with us and then you buy a new car, you would save $4,000. Well, that $4,000 in sales tax I would have saved on any car that I bought, as long as I traded in my car at a dealership in Texas, if that makes sense. So that $4,000 I would get at any dealership. So they should have come up more. So instead of trying to say, oh, well, your total value is $64,000, no, you're giving me $6,000 for my car, leaving the difference of what's left on top of my new car plus the new car amount, and then I'm saving sales tax. Versus if they offer me $64,000 for my car, and then I got the additional $4,000 in savings, and I saved the $4,000 in taxes, but giving me $4,000, bringing the total up to $68,000. But anyway, I ended up selling my car for about, I think, 66 or 67, no more than 68,000. So I broke even on the truck, or SUV rather. Sorry, I know some people don't. In the South, sometimes we call SUVs trucks. So I end up breaking even, on the SUV. My mind is all over the place today. And yeah, so I'll give y'all a few reasons as to why, because I know I started out with saying there's a few boxes that were unchecked. The GLE Coupe is for sure a great car if you want to give sporty aggressiveness and want something that's going to turn heads by everyone. Everybody stops and admires GLE Coupes. But if you don't want that kind of attention all the time, depending on the audience or whatever is happening, maybe it's not the best car. But outside of that, for me, that was a thing. My car has been broken into since I've been in Dallas, and not because it was turning heads, so that's completely separate. But it didn't have like the auto lock feature, and I know that sounds careless because it's my responsibility to lock my doors, but sometimes you're busy, you're moving around, and then sometimes when you're with like loved ones or with friends and you're at their homes, you're not expecting certain things to happen. And on my BMW, my car was set to where auto locked when I walked away from the car, and my Mercedes didn't have that feature. So again, I think sometimes when we're buying luxury cars, we're also paying for convenience, but with some cars that convenience doesn't always exist. And again, it's my fault that I didn't do what I needed to do to make sure the car was secured. Oh, I think it was unlocked. I'm assuming that it was unlocked because when I came back to the car, the door was open. But these days, folks have things to unlock the car. But it had me gaslighting myself as to if I did or did not lock the doors. But at any rate, I do know that that's not a feature that my GLE Coupe had, and my BMW X6 had that feature. But also another feature is the self-park. So my GLE Coupe was equipped with the self-parking, or park assist is what Mercedes calls it, but so was my BMW, and it was much easier to use in the BMW. I'll give you an example. In the BMW, once you like slow down under a certain speed limit, the cameras pop on, and then the park assist has already started scanning the space for a spot. And as soon as you're coming up on what the car thinks is a spot, it will prompt the screen with a question for you to tap to initiate the parking assist. In my Mercedes, you have to basically be pulling up to the spot, press park, put the car in, well, you can be in drive, but like press the park assist button so it scans, then pull forward past the spot, and then wait for the car to detect it, then tap the screen again to start the park assist. And when you think about it in just everyday scenarios, how much of that makes sense, right? You won't have that much time to hold up traffic and maneuver and touch all these buttons and screens in the reverse, right? You need something that's practical. And I think that was part of what didn't make the most sense to me. But besides like all the small nuanced things, because I'm a tech guy in general, I like a lot of tech and a lot of features in everything that I buy, whether it's a couch, iPad, it could be a phone. I just like features and I enjoy convenience, especially the art of functionality and it making sense. Even in my living spaces, functionality is like one of the biggest things outside of the physical, like, or tangible surfaces like the hardware and countertops and mirrors and shower heads. Functionality of the space needs to make sense down to how the bedroom is set up, how the living room is set up, which direction do the doors swing in, what the storage is like, the cabinet options, if the pantry makes sense, is the closet realistically big enough for me to store my stuff in, storage across the apartment in general. All those things matter to me outside of just looking at the space and liking it or not liking it, or it being like aesthetically pleasing, if you will. But I also kind of miss the headspace. I think the more 80 West grows, the more I realize, especially because I ship all the orders myself. I don't know if you guys knew that, but outside of having the brand and creating some of the fragrances for the candles and so forth, I ship the packages myself. There's no drop ship method. There's no one else doing the shipment for me. We're not big enough just yet for us to spend money on that kind of overhead, but also I'm really big on the energy, and so because I'm packing it myself, I'm packing it with love. So my hopes are that whenever people open their packages, outside of smelling whatever fragrance they order for their candle or their interior fragrances, that the love that it was packed with exudes their space as soon as they open the package. But yeah, I know that's kind of, I hope that's not too deep for y'all, but yeah, I package all the orders myself, and so I need that space in my car. But then also Artemis, he's a big boy, and now he's 6 years old. And I guess one thing I didn't think about, or you know, people in general, we really don't think about is like the pets, and not just like the basic things like feed them, groom them, give them vitamins, but just their bones. And so I was having a conversation with his groomer about how when she's brushing his hair, she lets him lay on the floor, and I was like, why would you want him to lay on the floor? And so she's like, well, he's 6, and so technically he's at half of a lifespan for a standard poodle almost. And so she was like, now is the time where you start to consider like joints and bones and what's the most comfortable day to day for for longevity of his body, his joints, etc. And so I'm like, well, our back seat is kind of, it has a slope line, so that was one of the things too. I don't think the space or the head space bother him as much, but I do know that like when I'm driving, he's kind of like leaned over a little bit because he's a big dog. Like standard poodles aren't huge, they're not as big as like doodles and Dobermans or Great Danes or anything like that. They're kind of like medium to large size dogs. He's about 60 pounds, give or take a few pounds, and he's not one of the really tall standard poodles. He's like a true standard poodle. So that was another thing, but I finally got to a point where I wanted something that says like I've arrived and not raw vroom. And I feel like the AMG GLE Coupe gives I've arrived because it's a Mercedes, but more of a vroom vroom. And I'm like, I'm almost 30. I don't know if that's still what I want to give. Sometimes I still want to give it. Like if I could have a weekend car, I would probably get like a CLE AMG 53. Because I don't know if some of y'all know, but one of my first cars, well my second, well actually my third car, but the one in between the first and the third doesn't count because I hated it. So my second car to me, but technically my third car, was a Mercedes C300 Coupe with like the AMG night package. I was a college kid. I was like too broke to afford like the AMG 63. So I had to do what God could do for me, what we could do for one another, and just take the blessing. And so I had just the C300 with the AMG night package. And that was one of my favorite cars. I kept that car for, I think 4 years, which is the longest I've ever kept a car. But yeah, I really enjoyed that car, and so that kind of made me want to get another coupe-ish vehicle. And you know, in the world we're at a point where we have coupe SUVs, and so I was like, okay, maybe I'll try one of these, which I don't regret buying it. I do love it. There was just a few things that my car didn't have, or features that Mercedes does not have. But I think one of the features as well, which they have on the 2025 version of the AMG coupes, but not the model year I had. I think mine was a 22 or 23. I think it was a 22. I did not have wireless CarPlay, and that's a huge inconvenience to have to always plug the phone in. Yes, we're gonna always have chargers in the car anyway, but to not have wireless CarPlay was kind of weird to me, because even my Range Rover Velara had wireless CarPlay, my X6 had wireless CarPlay, and so I'm like, this is a step back, because this car is more expensive than the X6, which they compete in the same category, but usually you can find the X6 that's a similar spec, less than you can get the Mercedes. If I'm not mistaken, you can find a used X6, even if it's the top trim. If you compare that to the top trim of the AMG Coupe, there may be almost like a $10,000 gap. It may be a little less nowadays, but when they first came out, and even still to this day, I think the AMG or the Mercedes version of the car outsells the BMW X6, but the X6, as far as convenience and tech, is almost better than the Mercedes, honestly. I think what happens is people really love the screens in the GLE Coupe, and you know, they've been doing like that rectangular screen with the smooth edges from, I think, since 2021 or 2022. I think 21 is when I released this new model, and it's been the same since. Whereas the X6 at one point still had like the screens, but they were split. But now BMW does like the rectangular screens, so it feels like they've caught up a little bit in tech as far as what the displays look like for customers. But for a while, I know a lot of people gripe was the fact that their X6 didn't have as nice tech. But the thing is, like, the tech is there, but for folks who aren't gonna deep dive in things, it looks like the tech isn't there. Because my BMW X6 didn't have the rectangular screen. I still had like those weird shaped screens. I had two screens, but they want the sharp rectangular shape that the new cars have now. So yeah, I was trying to find like one of those hair tie things to pull my hair back with, so that they're not in my face, but I'm gonna have to just use this little scrunchy thing. It's probably gonna look crazy, but I just need my hair out of my, that's not gonna work. I need my hair, hold on, I'll be right back. I found something. I just kind of need my hair out of my face, so I need something to just pull it back. This is usually what I use to pull like my fro back, but I'm gonna use it on these twists. So I'm gonna look crazy, but it's gonna get the job done. Don't judge me, because I'm supposed to be doing self-care with y'all while I'm talking to y'all. But yeah, there was like a few reasons as to why I got rid of the car. Just so y'all can see, I'll wash my hands first because I did twist my hair earlier. I'm going to the dentist tomorrow, but I think I want my hair like big and curly for the Thanksgiving holiday. So I decided to retwist it. The products I used on my hair today, or for this twist out, are the Tabitha Brown Extra Creamy Leave-In. Well, this is the conditioner, but I think this is the sweet potato pie recipe. So I use her shampoo and her leave-in conditioner. But of course, I don't know if I've shared with all you guys, but I do have dermatitis on the scalp, face, and T-zone, and then my chest, the middle of my chest. So I use my Nizoral, what is it? The Nizoral dandruff and psoriasis shampoo, and I mixed it with the extra creamy shampoo for moisturizer or moisturization or whatever. And what else did I use? Something else. Oh, my medicated shampoo from my dermatologist. Sometimes, I don't know if y'all do this, but when I'm about to do skincare or before I go out, which I might not go out today, but just for the sake of skincare and just rejuvenation before tomorrow, sometimes I put Vaseline on my lips and let it sit so it loosens the dead skin. But I have a nighttime repair ointment from Jack Black, and it works really well too. It's like a nighttime lip mask, and it's really, really good. But I don't know, I'm still unpacking some things, so I don't know exactly where it is. But then for the actual twist out, I use this combo, which is also Donna's recipe, but it's her whipped vanilla cream, curl defining mousse, and curl gel, which I think I posted these on Instagram in a story post, and Auntie Tab and the Donna's recipe page reposted me. I should do a reel on DIY on what I do exactly, but usually it's shampoo, condition, leave the conditioner in for a little while, rinse it out, then I go in with the leave-in conditioner and I section out the hair. And most times, to prevent hard lines, I try not to do a part down the middle, but sometimes depending on what style I'm coming from, the hard line is hard to get rid of. But this time I kind of did a random order for the twist. But once my hair is sectioned off and the leave-in conditioner is in, I use a little bit of the curl gel with the mousse in my hand, mix it in. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll take the curl gel, since it's like thick and creamy, and I'll take this Cantu Shea Butter for Natural Hair Moisturizing Cream, and I'll mix them together and go through the different sections. And then before I twist, I'll just put a little bit of the mousse on each section before I start to twist it out, and then just twist it all over. And then once I twist them, I take my finger like this and I twist again all the way to the top to make sure like they're not gonna unravel and that they're like good and not real tight, but that they're there to stay, if that makes sense. But now we're gonna go in and do it. I gotta wash my hand again because I touched my hair. See, you can't put dirty hands on your hair, on your face. But today, while we're chit-chatting about the car, I'm using this medical grade cleansing gel from Skin Better Science, which I got this from Jansen. If y'all don't know, for some of y'all who don't know, Jansen does some of my filler. It's just time for me to get something else done to my under eye. I look a little crazy. I don't know. You looking a little crazy. And then I'm using my kale and green tea spinach vitamins from Youth to the People. Live by their products. Also, if y'all are wondering how I'm getting this daytime lighting in here, which in my old apartment, I would have to use one of my lights, LED lights. But in this new apartment, my mirrors have lights built in on both sides, and that's the key to me. So I don't even need the lights. I can just come in here and do a skin routine, which coming soon to Instagram, a skin routine, and make it look beautiful without all the extra gadgets on the mirror. I also have a beard wash, but I think I'm just gonna clean my beard with the separate beard wash tomorrow. But I am gonna still wash it with the skincare. But sometimes the regular skincare or cleansers that we use for our face can dry our beards out. So just make it make sense. Sometimes we have to clean our beard or treat our beard the way we would treat our hair, if that makes sense. I'm learning that for a person who just only has a chin strap. And don't laugh. But yeah, And I'm gonna wash this off. I want to buy one of those silicone to make sure I'm getting like dead skin off, especially because it's cold outside. And what happens is with my dermatitis, did I say I had psoriasis earlier? I was misdiagnosed with psoriasis, but my dermatologist here in Texas says it's actually dermatitis and not psoriasis, but I kind of got stuck in the habit of saying the wrong one. But it's psoriasis. I mean, it's dermatitis and not psoriasis. See, I just did it again. But I don't know if y'all can see the redness on my nose here. It might not show up, but it'll peel a lot because of my dermatitis. So I try to make sure I'm going in and getting off all the dead skin before I put on this ointment, which I have an ointment. So she prescribed me 2 different ointments. One was the one I had originally, which is too strong for my skin, and then there's another one that I have now that's, and the only reason she still gave it to me for clarity is because it's good for my chest. But she was saying that the one that they originally prescribed to me, I should have never been told to put it on my face, but only on my chest or body when I have flare-ups, and that the other cream she prescribed is really good for my face. Because if you didn't know, but I'm sure some of y'all already knew, that the skin on our face is the softest skin on our body, especially under our eyes. This is the most delicate skin we have on our entire bodies, which is why people get bags and crow's feet and all of that, and some people end up getting surgeries, which I hate to tell y'all, but I am an advocate of cosmetic procedures and doing what makes you look and feel good. So I'm gonna say do that. I know some people are like, wait till you 40, wait till you 50. That's backwards. Don't listen to them. Those are people who don't believe in those rituals, okay? Any professional will tell you, you start to do small little touch-ups here and there as you notice them, not waiting until they're defined, because then when you wait that long, it's harder to fix those things. Make sense? But to some people, especially some black people, it'd be your own people. But no, some black people, and a lot of our friends will say, oh, no, wait till you're 40. You shouldn't touch your face until you're 40 years old. They're incorrect. They are incorrect. And they will know a thing. When you ask all your friends who get any type of Botox and filler done, now I'm not saying go overboard, and I'm definitely not an advocate of going to these people who say, oh, I took a class and I got a certificate. They're not medical professionals. Anybody that's doing any type of injections or filler on you should at least be a nurse at best. I mean, at the least, I'm sorry. I have some type of medical license. But when y'all going to some of these girls in these suites in Atlanta, and y'all getting these big balloon lips, that is not the way to go. I don't know who told y'all that. So next we're gonna go in with, probably should put some toner on first. While I have y'all on here, here's one of my beard washes. It's from Bro Code, and it's minty too, so it's really good. I have my toner, but oh, okay. Here's my toner. One of the toners I use, it's from Bro Code as well. Now I will use this on my face and my chin, so I'm gonna use a little bit of this just to put a little toner on my skin, and then we're gonna go in and do my under eye area with peptide. I'm gonna put a little of this. Oops, I think that's too much. I might have put too much on here, but I got this. And then I have this all-in-one snail mucin that I use from CosRx. But I think what I'm gonna do first is to put some of this energy eye concentrate under my eye, which the people says not to rub it in but pat it in. But I feel like sometimes when I'm patting it in, I feel like I'm like Kim Kardashian, somebody putting on like, what do girls put under their eyes? That foundation or concealer, whatever this feels like to me. But man, if you want it to look right or work, you gotta follow the instructions. But I feel like I'm putting on makeup when I'm doing this. It's a weird feeling. But they say not to rub it in and just pat it in. So I'm just gonna pat it in, and then we're gonna, some days, and this probably is funny, but some days when I'm doing my skincare, I feel like I look the same before and after, even if I did feel dry and crusty. And the only thing that makes a difference sometimes is me getting a haircut. I don't know if y'all are the same way. This is one of the creams I was telling y'all about for my dermatologist, but this is for my chest. It's not for my face. I can't find the other one. Here it is. This is the one for my face. So because I had redness, I don't know if y'all can see there's redness here and redness here. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of this cream, this Decennial cream from my dermatologist, just in my T-zone before I put on anything else. I'm gonna put a little bit on my nose. Make sure I'm soothing my skin, especially all this broken skin. There's a lot of broken skin, which is where the redness is from. If it gets in my hair, it's not that bad. Since it is for my dermatitis, it's the worst on my scalp. On my face, it's not that bad. I think Mar was saying like, oh, I didn't know you had dermatitis. I never see breakouts on your face, but usually I don't get bad breakouts. I just get broken skin. So sometimes my skin, especially my nose and forehead area, will look a little flaky, and it's not my dandruff. Sometimes it's really just my dermatitis, and a lot of times what looks like dandruff to other people is the dermatitis. So there's that. Rub this in, and then I just put my moisturizer on top. I try to get in the creases too, because my nose gets really dry in the fall, winter. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in with a little bit of this retinol from CosRx. Retinol drops. I think this is getting low though. I need to refill this. Not a lot of this left, but some retinol drops. I might still put under eye patches on once I'm done doing my skincare, just to make sure I'm the best I can with my under eyes. If my eyes get too bad, listen, I am telling y'all I'm going to get the laser procedure done for my under eye. I also have this Super Berry Hydrate and Glow Dream Oil from You to the People. Can y'all see that? This is really good too. You only need like 2 to 3. Because I put on the retinol oil, I'm not gonna do too many drops of this. I did like 4. I'm gonna press it in. And instead of rubbing the retinol, I'm gonna press that in as well. Try not to put too much friction on my skin, because I feel like they can cause damage. And girls aren't as rough, but I feel like guys, we're like a little heavy-handed in general. We just can't help it. I feel like even this, I feel like I'm just mashing my skin in, but I'm trying to make sure I just press it in like the directions say. Make sure I'm getting my money's worth, because this is expensive. And I've been trying to get on their PR list, which I filled out this form that they sent me via Instagram, but I haven't yet to get my first PR package. Go on Instagram and message them and tell them to send me my PR package. Just kidding. Then I'm gonna use this Superfood Skin Drip from You to the People. Sometimes I'll just put this, pump this right on my seat, because I don't even want to lose none of the product. Because I'm already heavy-handed, I try not to lose any other product. But okay, back to the car. So there's a few cars I'm considering, which I think I already know which one I'm going to get, which type of vehicle. But I did consider a traditional GLE. I considered a X5. I considered, let's see what else. I looked at some of the other brands like Audi. I went to the Audi dealership here and they offered me a Q6 e-tron, which is like an electric SUV for like $500 or $600 a month, which is super cheap compared to what some of these other luxury cars cost. But I think it's because it's electric, they're trying to get rid of them. Honestly, an electric car is probably the best way to get a good deal on a lease if you're willing to drive one. I do like electric cars, but because this is Texas, you pretty much have to drive everywhere. An electric car couldn't be my main car. It just wouldn't make the most sense. Not right now. I need a main car first and then an electric car. And what else? I'm trying to think. There was another car I considered. I looked at Range Rovers, of course, like the Range Rover Sport, and then also like the Vogue, which is the big body. In the US, we just call it the Range Rover, but in Europe, it's considered the Vogue. There were a few other cars I considered. I got cold feet a little bit before I finally sold the car, but then I was like, well, no, let's just do it. And yeah, so I guess I will keep you guys posted on what I get next, and then do an official car tour so y'all can see. This is, by the way, Superfood Air Whip, I think, moisture cream, yeah. Just a moisturizer, which I've already added some moisturizer. I might put a little bit more of this stuff, because I will say sometimes with some products, not from them specifically, but you know, like once you've washed your face and you start to put on product, once it dries completely, it still feels a little dry or like stripped. So I'll try not to make sure my skin doesn't feel stripped when I'm done moisturizing. I've been trying to grow my facial hair out a little bit. Can y'all see? It didn't connect here at first. And I feel like it's growing this way instead of like this way. Or am I tripping? But I feel like it's like growing out a little bit instead of like straight down. But yeah, so I kind of have my mind made up. The new car will give I've arrived. payment. And I think that's what it needs to give. That's what my car needs to give. I also thought about an electric car as my second car, but I'm not gonna get one right away. There's some other goals I want to accomplish first. The tenant has been officially evicted per like the life update video. My tenant has been evicted. He did not commit to making a payment within 10 days. He said he would to the judge, and I tried to explain to him that you said that, you know, on oath basically, but yeah, he, you know, we just couldn't figure it out. And it almost seemed like he felt like he was entitled to not have to pay or have to play catch up. And I was like, yeah, this isn't gonna work. I'm on here some good money. Some organization was supposed to help him pay, but I think there was a lot too. And so rather than wait longer and longer, I just decided to just go ahead and bite the bullet. And I've heard about it a lot actually, because you don't go into this type of business expecting a bunch of like losses, but it is important to have mentors in the space or do some research, and then once things do happen, try to respond to them quickly, good and bad, right? Just getting the whatever it is done. And so I gave him enough time. He was behind like a month and a half. He was behind 2 months of rent, but time wise it was a month and a half. And so I tried to work with him as best I knew how. But after talking to Gina, and my brother works in property management, asking him all the questions, all the things, I kind of got the answers that I needed, the reassurance that I needed to just get it done. Because I was almost tempted to wait even a little more longer, but I just couldn't. Because again, there's another family or person that lives there who I have to still show up and be a good landlord to, but outside of their contractors that I have to pay and be a good customer to, and you not paying does not benefit me. But also he was running up the utilities, and that was included in the rent as well. And so, or it's like charged in the arrears to the rent account, rent portal, and he wasn't even paying his monthly utilities, not water, not gas, not trash, anything. And just still deciding to do what he wanted with his money. And I just didn't think that was fair to me or the other tenant. It's just not right in general. You just can't do that to people. And so, yeah, we had to part ways and wish him all the best on future endeavors, because he had just got a new job too. So yeah. Okay, next I'm going to put on this brightening and clearing serum. It says for even skin tone. Now the thing is, this stinks a little bit. I think I've seen people talk about this, but it's from Topicals. It's their brightening, I think the faded collection, but it's the brightening and clearing serum. It's really good. I like it, but it stinks. I don't think you need a lot of this. It stinks though, I will say that. It smells like a perm almost. So I think I have seen some people complain about the smell of it, but hey, beauty is pain. So you smell worse, just buy it and use it because it's good. I really like it, but it does stink. And a lot of days, that sounds crazy. Most times I use this like maybe once or twice a week. I don't use it too much, but now I can stand the smell and the feeling of it, so I can put it on every day. But I just felt like I needed a pick-me-up, and I figured while I was doing that, I would give a chit chat with you guys, or do a little chit chat. But also, where did I leave off? Yeah, he's gone, so update on that. That's not the point of the video. He's gone. I feel like I owed you guys an update, but I think I'm going to decide swiftly. There's more and more content that I need to get out to you guys, but I wanted to give you guys the chit chat or the update on one. I sold the GLE Coupe. She's gone, unfortunately. She is gone. I miss her dearly though. It was such a good car in some areas, and there was areas where the boxes weren't checked, like headroom in the back, which I knew that's what I was signing up for. Before y'all get in the comments, I knew that's what I was signing up for. And sometimes some things get old, and me not having the headroom in the back got old. But also the way the seats let down. For a Mercedes that's like $100,000 car, brand new, you should have electric folding rear seats. I did not have that. I didn't have wireless CarPlay. The Mercedes GLE Coupe does not come with soft closing doors. It's not equipped on any model with that. Now the new models have wireless CarPlay, but the new models even still doesn't have soft closing doors. Luxury cars should have that option. It just doesn't make sense to me that that wouldn't be an option, right? So self-parking is redundant, so they need to revisit the drawing board on that. And what else? I think in a nutshell, that was everything. There was something else though that I couldn't remember to tell y'all. Oh, now I did love the car wash mode on the GLE Coupe or the Mercedes SUVs. It's toast my goats. But yeah, a lot of other brands should incorporate certain features, but Mercedes definitely needs to go back to the drawing board to address some of the other features. But yeah, the car's gone and new car coming soon. I'll be doing some car shopping. I may vlog there, or I may just jump straight to the new car tour and save all the other stuff. But the moving vlog is coming soon. I partner with Piece of Cake Moving and Storage, so I hope you guys go check out the reel on Instagram. It's probably already posted by the time of this video, but the moving vlog isn't. I had deadlines on the content, sorry folks. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this rambling moment with me and doing a little skincare. I couldn't do everything that I normally do because I'm still unpacking some things, but we are on the market for a new car, and Storm 2.0 has exited the building. So stay tuned for what we get next, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Peace.